back to my channel. This is Metal Heart. My name is Ray. Today I'm going to be talking about 4 albums, metal albums that I bought without ever hearing the band whatsoever. Now a lot of people did this back in the 80s. I'm sure I'm not the only one. When you saw a cover, and you were like, oh, holy cow, I gotta check that out. That looks awesome. So if you heard that intro, that was Sodom's Nuclear Winter. I shouldn't be getting a copyright strike for that, a copyright claim. So the first one was in 1987, and it's Diamond Rex. I have the album here. It's on this collage of like cassette tape things that I did. I threw away my tape cassettes. I got tired of my tape cassettes because they were just too much. I had like 300 or 400 at one time, and then I decided to get rid of them because they were just taking up way too much room and they were heavy. And I got rid of a bunch years ago, and I had like 60 or 70. And you know, I had my favorite ones, and I was just like, alright, I have these on CD, I have the audio. I don't want to get rid of the actual tape covers because of nostalgic reasons. I had them for years. So I'm going to make this under 10 minutes. So the first one is Diamond Rex. This is the only one of the albums that I have of the 4 that I'm going to be talking about today. Diamond Rex, a band from Chicago. And this was definitely a cool album. I saw the ad for this, and I saw those 4 guys in the ad with the album cover, and hung it up on my dresser, and I was like, well, this is stupid. On the side of my dresser, I had it there for like 2 or 3 days. I'm like, I don't know who these goons are, so I took it off. So then after several days, I decided to put it back on, and I said, I gotta go check out that album. So here it is, Land of the Damned. It's a cross between Motley Crue and LA Guns. It's kind of glammy metal, if you will. And if you like Poison, Motley Crue, LA Guns, Diamond Rex, the songs on here are just awesome. Land of the Damned starts off with this air raid siren and an explosion. Then it says, Nasty Habit screams 8346, 8346, which I have no idea what the heck that means, but all I need, because I want you, I wish I was rich. These guys actually had a music video, but they wouldn't play it on MTV, so that's one of the deals there, why I never heard them, because there was, at that time, there was no music video. It wasn't until like years later I discovered it. So check that album out. It's awesome if you like kind of the glam metal kind of thing. It's just, the songs on there are just so awesome. I recommend that. The next one, Sodom, Persecution Mania. Man, I saw the ad for this cover. Once again, no music video. And I was like, oh, well, that looks interesting. And then I happened to see it. I happened to see it in the tape store, record store. Mind you, I bought all these on tape cassette. I bought it in a record store. I looked at the cover and I was just like, well, this looks like it's going to be heavy. It looks heavy. You know, this was 1988 now, a year later. I bought the first one there in April of 87. I forgot to mention that. So by March or April of 1988, I was in a tape store. I saw Persecution Mania on tape cassette, and I'd seen the ad for it before. No music video. It looked heavier than hell, and I got it. And I swear, that first song, Nuclear Winter, you gotta think this is back in 88, and I heard heavier stuff. I heard heavy stuff, but this song was just awesome. The sound on that album, that guitar sound and everything. I didn't know it was a 3-piece band, and I didn't know they were from Germany at the time. But if you like that kind of good thrash metal, and if you never heard of Sodom, and if you like that song, that intro song that they did, check out Sodom, Nuclear Winter. That's the name of the album. I mean, that's the name of the song, the first song off the album, Persecution Mania, the heaviest thing I ever heard in my friggin' damn life. I was just loving it. It was thrashy. It was like really heavy. I like the guy singing and everything. It's an awesome album. Check it out. The next one, a band from Arizona called Atrophy. I saw the ad, same concept. I saw the ad for this one first, and then I wound up seeing it in the record store, record tape store. So same concept. I bought it. The cover looked a little corny, I guess, but something about it. I was like, oh, this is going to be like a really cool heavy metal album, thrash metal album. And I read a couple of small little reviews, a couple of one-liners. a true sense how thrash should be. So I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. So, Violent by Nature. The song starts out with Puppies and Friends, which is basically an animal rights song, kind of like what Nuclear Assault did on their song about animal rights, and I forgot the name of it. It's Off Handle with Care. I forgot the name of it. Torture Tactics, I think. I think that's the one. I forgot. I'll have to look it up. I totally forgot what the animals rights song is off Nuclear Assault Handle with Care. I'm drawing a blank here. Alright, so anyways, Puppies and Friends, Violent by Nature, and Too Late to Change, and there's just so many awesome songs off of this album. There's a band from Arizona, once again, no music video. This was Atrophy's second album release, and I'm like, oh yeah, I did see the first one there, Socialized Tape. I did see the ad for that one too, but I just never saw it in the music store. So I saw this one in the music store. If you like good heavy thrash metal, and you don't know Atrophy, check it out. They have some wicked songs. They have good lyrics. And I'm comparing them to Nuclear Assault because they kind of had that same kind of vibe and feel to where they wrote about the environment. They wrote about political, social stuff. It's that kind of band and that kind of concept. So check it out. Atrophy's Violent by Nature. There's so many really cool songs on there, and it's an awesome album. The Toxic Thing, this album, with the two, I have a small picture of up here on the thing here. The cover has these two parents and this kid watching a bunch of TVs and stuff. And so it shows all these like little subliminal messages or stuff that's happening in the news. And throughout the 80s, of course, because you got to think these guys released this album in 1990. The concept of this album is how TV and news media controls your mind and make you think this and pretty much brainwashes you and stuff like that. So I thought it was a little exaggerated, but I thought I'd check it out. And if you like heavy stuff, but you don't like that, if you don't like Atrophy and Sodom style of metal, but you want the guy to sound like the guy in Riot. If you know the band Riot, this guy has a similar voice. It's kind of like a smooth singing voice, but the band's like really heavy. They cover a Led Zeppelin song on the Tiles, which I think they did a wicked job on. And it's an awesome album. In between all of the songs off of the album, you hear like these little, like, somebody going through the channels, and everything from a Cookie Crisp cereal commercial to political people speaking to politicians speaking or preachers speaking. So there's all that kind of stuff within between. That's the concept. It's a concept album about how TV and media controls your mind and not to fall for it. Kind of funny because flash forward to 26, 27 years later, and what did they do? They come out with a new tape. Of course, granted, this was like the third or fourth tape that they did this with, because they come out with a couple of VPs and stuff. I don't know, I lost kind of track of Toxic, because they came out with the two first albums, then they kind of went on a hiatus and the band broke up, like many of those other bands that, like Atrophy, that weren't really popular. So they come out with a new album in 2017, I believe, and it's an anti-Trump album cover. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what the heck? You're doing what you said not to do back in 1990, 89, 1990, not to fall for the left-wing media's lies and the left-wing media. No, I'm not trying to get political about this, but it's a political album, so I just thought that was kind of ridiculous, stupid, and corny of them to do that. It was just like, what the heck? You were just talking about how the media controls your mind and lies to you and makes you think this, and then they put out the anti-Trump album. That Trump on the cover, and it was a remake of the copy of World Circus with Trump's hand on the button. It's like, what the heck, man? I thought that was stupid. But anyways, back in 1990, late 80s and early 90s, when the world was sane, not that anything was perfect in the world, but there wasn't all this other craziness and corniness that was happening. But back then, when there was music, when there was this, social issues that bands have talked about, it was, kept to a minimum. It wasn't too freaking crazy. Okay, once again, thanks for watching, and comment in the comment section. What other tapes have you bought? Because I know there's a lot of metalheads who be like, oh, I've done that before. You've bought a tape where you just saw the album cover, you never heard the band, and you go, man, this looks cool, I gotta check that out. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and thanks. Till next time.